there everyone! With spring and summer just around the corner, meaning prom season and all that good stuff, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about some of my new favorite sunless tanning products. And the two products that I'm going to talk about today are both from Million Dollar Tan, and one product is for the body and one product is for the face. So I'm going to talk a little bit about these two. First, I'm going to do a review on each of them. And then at the end, I'm going to show a demo using two different application methods of this Tan Icon product, since it is a liquid and a little bit different to apply than most self-tanners that we're used to. So I'll do a demo of that at the end for you. Before I start the review, I just wanted to say that both of these products are in the shade Extreme, which is darker out of the two that are available. And the extreme color is actually recommended for those with darker skin, and I am super pale, but I wanted a really bronzy dark self-tanner, so I decided to give the darkest shade a try. And I'm really happy with the result of the color. So the first product that I'm going to review is the Tan Icon. So this is different than most self-tanners that I've used just because it is a liquid in a spray bottle and just sprays out as a liquid. Other self-tanners that I've used are mostly lotions, mousses, and so I've never really used a spray self-tanner before, so this was a little bit different to work with, which is why I'm doing the demo at the end for you guys. But one thing that really sets this self-tanner apart from other self-tanners that are out there on the market is that there is really little to no smell. When you first spray out the product, it smells a little bit like rubbing alcohol, but that smell quickly goes away after the product dries, in my opinion, so you don't really smell that afterwards. And when I actually take the cap off and smell inside the bottle, it almost smells a little bit like coconut, which is quite pleasant, but I find that when I actually spray it out, I don't really smell the coconut smell as much. It's more of that rubbing alcohol smell, which, like I said, does go away. So that's a plus for this product, like a major plus, because a lot of times self-tanners do not smell very good, so that definitely turns people off from trying them out because they don't want to like smell bad while they have their self-tanner on. The next plus about this product is that it's reasonably priced. This is a $26 bottle and you get 8 fluid ounces. If you were to buy the lighter shade, it's only $20 for the same amount. My guess for the reason that the Extreme product is more expensive is because there's probably more DHA in the formula and therefore leading to a darker tan. One thing I like about using this liquid consistency of a self-tanner is that it dries so fast. As long as you can work quickly, that is a major upside to this product, because then you don't have to wait around waiting for the product to dry before putting on your clothes. It literally dries within seconds, usually by the time you've started moving on to the next section that you're tanning. So that is really a great feature of this product. Another plus to having this liquid product is that you could actually mix it with a lotion if you wanted a lotion consistency, and then you could apply it. And the plus side to that is you can decide how much product that you want to mix with the lotion, so then you decide the concentration, and that way you can control a little bit more the color that you're getting. This does have a color guard, so you see color right away as you're applying it, so that helps a little bit with your application so that you know that you're putting it on evenly. The next product that I'm going to talk about is the Cabana Tan Lotion, and this is also in the color Extreme, like I said at the beginning. And this is a lotion, but it's meant for your face and neck. Apparently the difference between the product for your face and the product for your body is that there's a larger concentration of DHA in this product. And that makes sense because in my experience it's a little bit harder to get my face to show the same color as the rest of my body. It's usually a little bit less, and also we wash our face more often in general than our body, so it tends to be the first place for the tan to start wearing off. It actually sort of balances out that there's a higher concentration of DHA in this product than the body one. The smell is great. This one actually does smell like coconut when you apply it. It does take a little bit longer to dry than the Tan Icon that I was just talking about, and that's because it is in a lotion format, but since you're just using it on your face and neck, it doesn't really matter. With the face product, the product comes out translucent, so you can't exactly see where you're applying it, but I mean, your face and neck are quite a small amount of surface area, so hopefully you can cover it evenly. I haven't really had problems with blotchiness while applying this product. So far it's been good for me. So now that I've talked to you a little bit about the products that I love using for my self-tan, I wanted to talk a little bit about the methods that I use to get a very even self-tan. It does take practice, and when a product comes out streaky or blotchy, it's usually not the product's fault. The only way that the product could really influence this is how fast it dries, and just by different products you'll get used to how fast they dry and how quickly you have to work with them. So if a product comes out streaky or blotchy, it's not the product's fault, it's yours. With that said, with practice, you'll be able to get a flawless self-tan. The first important thing to remember is that applying self-tanner is not a 20-minute deal. It's much longer than that because you have to prep your skin first in the shower, and then you have to apply it evenly, which does take a bit of time to make sure that you spread it out evenly. And you may even want some help with applying self-tanner to your back, so you want to maybe see if you can get someone to help you with that. For example, I asked my mom to apply my self-tanner on my back, so I have to make sure that she's around when I'm applying it. And then you have to sort of allot out a 6 to 8 hour period where you're not going to be doing very much physical activity so that the self-tan can process. And then once those 8 hours are up, you can shower off the color guard, and then underneath your self-tan will be developed. So like I said, the first step is you need to exfoliate well in the shower. This is really important because without exfoliating your skin first, your self-tan will definitely end up blotchy. While you're in the shower, you want to make sure that you shave as well, because if you shave after having applied your self-tanner, it's going to exfoliate your skin a little bit, and that will take off some of the self-tan with it. Once you get out of the shower, you're probably going to want to tie your hair up like in a bun or something out of your face. And then you're also going to want to apply lotion to the areas that the self-tanner tends to stick a little bit more, and these tend to be the drier areas of your skin, so that would be like your elbows and your knees, your ankles. And then I also apply lotion to the parts of my body that I don't want the lotion to show up as strongly, so that would be on my hands and like especially in between my fingers. Don't forget your nail cuticles, and don't forget your feet as well. Now, before you actually apply any self-tanner, make sure that you get anything done that involves water that you need to do. So you don't want to apply self-tanner and then go do the dishes, because it's going to totally ruin your tan once water comes in contact with it before the 8 hours are up. So this includes things like putting on your contacts and brushing your teeth. You want to do these before you start applying your self-tanner. Once you're certain that you won't need to be in contact with water at all except washing your hands, what I like to do is first apply the face lotion, because I use my hands for this and I don't want to stain my palms orange, so I work with it really quickly and I just apply it with my fingers on my face and on my neck, and then right away, very quickly, I wash my hands very well. Then I use the body product, and I'm going to show you the different application methods at the end. When you're applying your self-tan, you want to make sure that the color guard that is showing up looks even, because how the product has applied with the color guard is a pretty good indication of what it's going to look like after the tan has processed for 8 hours. So just make sure that there's no streaks or anything like that, and if you have any streaks, make sure that you blend them out. You might have to add some more product to blend out the streaks. Once you've applied your self-tan, you're probably going to want to wear some looser fitting clothes just so it doesn't mess up what you've already applied. And then after the 6 to 8 hours, I like to wait around 8 hours. So the best time for me to put on self-tanner is at night. So then I just go to bed, and then in the morning I can shower off the color guard, and then underneath is the tan that's developed. Personally, I found that the color guard was a more intense version of the tan color that's underneath. I thought that the color guard was actually a little bit too pigmented for me, but then once I washed it off, the tan underneath was quite natural looking. So I'm really happy with the turnout of the color of this product. I hope that you found this review useful. If you have any questions about self-tanning or my experience with these $1 Million Tan products, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. So stay tuned if you want to see my demo comparing the application of the tan icon using the sponge brush. This, by the way, does come included with the product, and then compared to using the tanning mitt that I already had at home. So here I'm just spraying the product onto the foam brush, and then
I'm just going to spread it evenly on my leg. And you can even see, just as I'm first applying it in vertical strokes the whole time is not going to be a really good idea because there are going to be some streaks. So you're going to have to mix that up with some horizontal strokes as well to get rid of all the streaks. Now what I'm doing here is, before applying more product onto the, let's call it the brush, I'm just spreading whatever is left on over my knees so that my knees don't become oversaturated with color. Instead of spraying the product onto the brush, you could also just spray it directly onto your skin first and then blend it out with the brush. It doesn't really matter. I don't really have a preference between these two methods. It may be just because I have less experience using this kind of tool for applying self-tanner, but I actually struggled getting even application with this applicator. I know that a lot of other YouTubers really like it, but just since the product dries so fast, the only way to really even out the streaks I find is to add more product. So using this type of applicator, I actually find that I was using a lot more product, and not just to cover the area, but also to fix the streaks that I was making along the way. As a result, it actually took me longer to apply the self-tanner all over my legs. First leg took me about 20 minutes to complete, and there's still actually some spots on the back that didn't get tanned, if you can see my back leg there. But now I'm using the tanning mitt on my left leg. I'm not going to show the full footage because it will take too long, but it did take me about 7 minutes to complete my left leg. And then here I'm just going to show a comparison of both legs. So you can see that that left leg is a little bit smoother than the right leg, has a couple blotches. So my final verdict is that if you don't have a tanning mitt, the foam applicator does do a better job than if you were to try to apply it with your bare hands. And it is a nice touch that $1 Million Tan does include this applicator with the purchase of the Tan Icon product. However, I personally found it easier to use the tanning mitt that I already had.
I hope you found this review and demo useful. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye everyone.